So think about that. You graduating the same year as somebody else, but making 2.5 times more money than they do. Okay. So I just created a separate video talking about how much college tuition has been increasing over time and how a lot of people are actually starting to question whether paying for college, sometimes upwards of 6 figures, 100 plus, 200 plus $1,000, is even still a good investment anymore in this day and age, right? So in this video, I want to talk to you about how much money you can make if you were to graduate into an investment banking job, because at the end of the day, the way we can quantify the return on investment for the 5 or 6 figures that you're spending to go to college is based on how much compensation you're going to make from the job that you get, right? And so that's why compensation is obviously always one of the most important things that people care about when they look for jobs. Now, what is the highest paying entry-level job for a new college grad? Well, according to LinkedIn, they created a stated salary report back in 2017. It's the investment banking analyst, okay? Now, you got to understand, like, the first year investment banking analyst makes around $130,000 a year on average. That's about 2.5 times higher than what an average college grad today makes in the United States, which is about $50,000, okay? So think about that. You graduating the same year as somebody else, but making 2.5 times more money than they do, okay? Now, as you become more and more senior in investment banking, you can make upwards of 700 plus to $1 million plus, even like if you become a managing director in an investment bank, right? And so this is based on survey data, by the way, from Wall Street Oasis, okay? And so a lot of people basically submitted their entries with their salary information. So it's based on real data, right? So obviously, look, making 6 figures out of school, $130,000, sometimes more, that's phenomenal, right? Your second year can make $150,000, so on and so forth. However, that's not even the only thing. The thing is, a lot of people don't stay in investment banking for that long, because after you do investment banking for about 2 years, you have the option of leaving and going elsewhere, right? So a lot of people, what they actually do is they go into the banking for the exit opportunities, because they don't want to work 80 hours a week for the rest of their careers, right? And so there are a lot of different exit opportunities you can get into, including things like private equity and hedge funds and venture capital, which are basically pretty much almost exclusively only available to people that have done 2 years of investment banking before. Okay, there's some minor exceptions to that, but for the most part, if you want to do those types of jobs, if you want to become a buy-side investor, you have to go into investment banking first, and from there, you can make upwards of $200 plus $1,000, all the way up to $400, $500, even $600,000 if you're at the right fund, just basically 3 or 4 years out of school, right? Which is an unfathomable amount of money for most of you probably, but that's the reality that we live in, right? Even if you don't want to go into a buy-side investing job, you have a lot of other options. You can go into corporate development. You can go into strategic finance. You can work at a Fortune 100 or Fortune 500 company. You can do business development, business operations. I've seen people go into product management, marketing. You can start your own business. There's just so many things you can do, because the skill set that you learn in investment banking is going to make you very well-rounded, and it's just going to make you an athlete and just give you the work ethic that you need to pretty much do whatever you want. And people are going to be fighting over themselves. Employers are fighting each other to hire you because you have that pedigree, right? And so how much of a difference does this really make in the long run, though? Like, having a better career trajectory, having more options, which means that you can be more selective about what jobs you take on, does that really have a long-term impact on your earnings? Well, according to the Stanford Graduate School of Business study done by a professor, where he surveyed about 2,600 Stanford MBA students over 38 different graduating classes, he looked at how much money they earned over their career based on what their first job was after coming out of Stanford GSB. So all of them went to one of the best business schools in the country. They have the same degree, but the people, what he found is that the students that graduated and started their career in investment banking ended up making anywhere from $1.5 million to $5.5 million more than their classmates who also graduated from Stanford, but maybe went to consulting, or maybe they started their own business right away, or maybe they did something else. Like, that's what these categories are, right? Other, consulting, and entrepreneur. And he discounted their future earnings back to the present value. So this is $1.5 to $5.5 million more in today's terms, okay? And so that just goes to show you like how big of a difference this can really make. Like when people say, oh, like, it's nice to make six figures right when I graduate, but it's not a big deal. It's not about that. You got to think long term, how much more are you going to make over your entire career for 40 years, okay? Hey there, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for more customized advice that's tailored for your specific situation, then I invite you to book a free strategy session with our team at the link below. We'll talk to you soon.